أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ قتلتم نفسا فادارأتم فيها والله مخرج ما كنتم تكتمون فقلنا اضربوه ببعضها كذلك يحيي الله الموتى ويريكم آياته لعلكم تعقلون ثم قست قلوبكم من بعد ذلك فهي كالحجارة أو أشد قسوة وإن من الحجارة لما يتفجر منه الأنهار وإن منها لما يشقق فيخرج منه الماء وإن منها لما يهبط من خشية الله وما الله بغافل عما تعملون. Surah.Baqarah verses 73 and 74. The translation is, and when you killed a man and started putting the blame for it on one another, while Allah was to bring forth what you were holding back, so we said, strike him with a part of it. This is how Allah revives the dead, and He shows you His signs so that you may understand. When even after that your hearts were hardened, as if they were rocks, or still worse in hardness, for surely among the rocks there are some from which rivers gush forth, and there are others that crack open and water flows from them, and there are still others that fall down in fear of Allah, and Allah is not unaware of what you do. Verses 72 and 73, they refer to the incident of the Baqarah, the sacrifice of the cow, and the incident we have already described, that a person was killed in the Bani Israel, and it was getting difficult to identify the murderer or the killer, and people hence started to lay the blame on each other so that they will not be caught as the killer. So here in verse 72, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذْ قَتَلْتُمْ نَفْسًا. Qataltum means when you killed nafsan, a man, فَادَّرَأْتُمْ فِيهَا, then you amongst each other you started to lay the blame that that person must have done it, you must have done it, you must have done it, so that I will not be caught as the murderer. So فَادَّرَأْتُمْ means that you started to lay the blame on each other, fiha, in this matter. وَاللَّهُ مُخْرِجٌ مَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْتُمُونَ. But Allah, mukhrijum, He had decided that He will reveal ma kuntum taktumun, whatever you were hiding at that time. So the killer obviously did not want to be identified. So he was definitely amongst those people who were laying the blame on each other, and it seems that everybody was doing that at that time. So Allah had decided that the killer will be revealed, and for that we have already talked that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the order to Musa alayhi salam to tell Bani Israel to sacrifice a cow, and then the Bani Israel asked a series of questions about it which were not required. They were useless questions, but still Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they responded, and eventually they sacrificed the cow. So now the order was فَقُلْ نَضْرِبُوهُ بِبَعْضِهَا, that so now we said to them, Bani Israel, أَضْرِبُوهُ بِبَعْضِهَا. So adribu means strike the murderer with a part of the cow. Biba'atiha means a part of the cow. The ha here refers to the Baqarah, the cow that was sacrificed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them that take a part of that meat of the cow, take some meat of that sacrificed cow, and then hit or strike or touch the body of the murderer with that part of meat. And then what happened was that on the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that person, he came to life, and he told the name of the murderer, and then he passed away. So in this way the murderer was identified. And it might be asked that typically when in such an incident, when someone tells the name of the murderer without any witness, then that thing is not acceptable in Sharia. You need a witness. But in this case, Musa alayhi salam had been already informed that this person is going to tell the truth about the murderer, and therefore there is no lie about it. Therefore his words were accepted without any hesitation or witness. And then one may also ask that if the intention was to just identify the murderer, then why did not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala simply send down a revelation on Musa alayhi salam and tell him the name of the murderer. That was a pretty simple thing to do. So the answer is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not do anything which is useless, aliyazu billah, which is not required, aliyazu billah, or which is just for the sake of fun, aliyazu billah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does everything with hikmat. So whatever He does, there is extreme level of wisdom behind it, which we cannot, it is not in the power of human mind to completely understand Allah's wisdom, which is obviously every intelligent person will come to the same conclusion, because it is Allah's wisdom. How can we, as a creation, a weak creation at that, how can we understand it completely? So we do not have to find the hikmah or the logic behind everything, because we may not be able to understand it, but there is logic. And one of the logics that we can derive from it is this, that كَذَلِكَ يُحْيِي اللَّهُ الْمَوْتَى, that this was a demonstration that how Allah will bring the dead. Al-Mauta means all the dead people in the world, how Allah Ta'ala will give them life on the day of judgment. So that was a proof. And وَيُرِيكُمْ آيَاتِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, and this part of verse is really extremely beautiful. وَيُرِيكُمْ آيَاتِهِ, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allah shows you His signs so that you may understand what is the purpose of your life. So we have to reflect on the happenings around us, on the incidents which are mentioned in the Quran, on the verses, on the signs like moon and the sun. We have to reflect on them so that we may understand the purpose of our life, that is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this hidayah. And now one would have expected that after seeing so many miracles, the Bani Israel should have improved their behavior. They should have turned towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, turned more towards worship. And even the Jews of Medina, they should have accepted Islam after seeing so many miracles and so many prophets alayhi salatu wasalam. They should have turned towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but that did not happen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Summa, that after some time had passed, Qasat qulubukum, that even after seeing these incidents, your hearts turned to stone. Qasat, they hardened. Qasat means your hearts hardened. Min ba'di dhalika, after these incidents, fahiya kal hijara, so they became like they were stone, or they were rocks. Aw ashaddu qaswa, or they became something which is even worse, more hard than even the rocks and stones. So that is the analogy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving to the hearts of Bani Israel, and even to the Jews of Medina Munawwara and the Jews of today, that their hearts are more hard than stones in the case of worship. And to prove these words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives an examples of 3 types of stones, subhanallah. And the first is وَإِنَّ مِنَ الْحِجَارَةِ, that definitely amongst the stones, لَمَا يَتَفَجَّرُ مِنْهُ الْأَنْهَارِ, there are those from which stones the rivers are gushing forth. So that there are stones and the rivers are gushing forth, the streams and the rivers are gushing forth from that stone. So that stone is very soft, that it is giving benefit to the whole of humanity through the water that is gushing forth from it. And many people and many animals are taking advantage of that. So that is the best that is the best stone, which is so soft that it is giving benefit to the whole humanity. And that is what our hearts should be like, and even softer than this, because we are human beings. And then the second type of stone is وَإِنَّ مِنْهَا لَمَا يَشَقَّقُ فَيَخْرُجُ مِنْهُ الْمَاءُ, that when they crack open and when they just tear apart, so the water starts to come out of these stones. So there's a less amount of water than the rivers or the streams, but still water is coming forth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that the hearts of Bani Israel do not resemble any of these 2 stones, because the first stone is very, very soft, and the other stone is a little less soft and much harder, but still it is beneficial by giving water. And the third type of stone is وَإِنَّ مِنْهَا لَمَا يَهْبِطُ مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ, that amongst these stones are those that fall towards the ground. They come towards the ground from the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the hellfire. And this is really this is the stone that is the hardest of all the 3. But still, with all its hardness, it is still fearing the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the hearts of Bani Israel are not akin to even this stone. So as far as the hardness or the softness of the hearts are concerned, even the stones are behaving better than the hearts of Bani Israel. And who knows, in these times, maybe the hearts of many Muslims or the hearts of many Jews and many Christians, it's similar. Even with Islam, which is the right religion, even with Islam, it is possible that the hearts of many Muslims are worse than these stones. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our heart soft for worship. So that is the message here, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given such a beautiful example of these three stones. And one may ask that how is it possible that the stone fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How does it have that sense? Because it is not a living thing, it is a haywan. How does it have that sense? So it is possible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give the non-living things that sense, because we know that many non-living things are doing Allah's zikr. They are remembering Allah. So the verses and the ahadith, they give proof of that the things in the skies and the earth, they are praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that means they have some sort of a sense, they have some sort of a wisdom or aql, but it is very less as compared to human beings, but it is still there. So we are not aware of that, what's the exact reality of that sense that these non-living things have, but it is possible to have it. And when the Quran says that the stones, they are fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, some of the stones fall down towards the earth for the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Necessarily not all of them, but some of them are falling down from time to time, probably for the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that shows us, that is a strong message, especially to the Muslims, that our heart should be softer than the first stone. So we should be we should live a life which on a daily basis gives benefit to others, rather than teasing others or mocking others or making things difficult for others. We should be living a life which eases the life of others. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this tawfiq. Wallahu alam bis sawab.